parameters passing mechanisms are there? 5. We have five types of what? Arguments passing mechanism. 5 types of arguments passing mechanisms. Okay. What are the 5 types of arguments mechanisms? I am going to write it. They are, first one I am writing, second one I will write it. I'll carry these things. Can I carry this? So I'll carry this. So here I am going to take up these things. I will write it one by one. We'll discuss these kind of things. Positional arguments, default arguments, keyword arguments, variable arguments, keyword variable length arguments. And this we want to discuss. This we want to discuss one by one. So let us start with the positional arguments concept. So positional arguments concept, I will write it. So what is this positional arguments concept is happening here? Very, very easy. Let's start with the positional arguments concept. Do you know one thing, student? In C language, in C++, in Java, in Python, this is the default mechanism. Which one? Positional arguments mechanism is a default passing mechanism. Our first example itself is called what? We are passing the data or not? Which mechanism it is called? First argument is passing to first formal parameter, correct? Second argument is passing to the second formal parameter, which is called first position to first position, second position to second position, nth position to nth argument to what? Nth formal parameter it is passing. This is known as what? Positional arguments passing mechanism. What is the default arguments mechanism? Positional arguments mechanism. What are AB once again? Arguments. What are this AB? How it is passing? All at once is passing up 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3 passing up 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, n to n. What that mechanism is called? Positional arguments mechanism. So what did you understand the first sentence about positional arguments? It is one of the default mechanism of passing the data from function call to function definition. C language will satisfy, C++ will satisfy. But when you go to other languages, default arguments Java does not provide. Keyword arguments, these things are not provided in the other languages that much effectively, but Python can provide it. Understand? Let me go to the further now. Here, what is the use of this mechanism? What is the use of this mechanism? First one I will write it. It is one of the default mechanism. Right, students? Default mechanism this is. What is the second one now? What is the second mechanism here? The second mechanism is, why do you use this? This mechanism is used for passing what data? Specific data from where? Function call to where? Function definition. What is specific data? What is common data? Within few minutes you will go for it. You know, students, while I am discussing this, because it's the first time you are entering, when I come to the second one, I'll combinedly discussing. When I come to third one, I'll discuss these two with the third one. When I'm discussing this fourth, I'll discuss which 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll combine everything and I will discuss so that you'll get the clarity when to use what. Okay. So coming to the point of it, it is used to transfer what data? Specific data from function call to function definition. What is the passing mechanism here? First argument to first parameter, second argument to second, nth to nth. This is going to be known as positional based argument. Says that every value of argument is passing to the separate formal parameter. That's why it is named as what? Positional argument. 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, n to n. It is used for which purpose? Passing specific data. For example, you see display stud data. What is 10? 10 is called 10 RS and next to 33.45, etc. What is 10? Roll number. What is RS? Name. What is 23.45? marks. Are they called specific data or not? Are they separately to store or all in one can I store? Separately I can store. How do you pass this data? By using what arguments? Of course, by default is that. Let me go to one example, student. Let me go to one example and I will come and fill up that. Because with example only I will show you that. Let's go to new and say here, and I'm going to say program for demonstrating what? Positional arguments. Positional arguments I'm going to take it. What is this now? You come to this place, main program I'm going to take. Tell me std info of 10 comma rs comma some 23.45, just taking like this. What this is known as? Come on. Function call with which data? Specific data. So definitely I will go for what? DE. Yeah? What is this now? Student info of what? SNO comma SNAME comma marks I will take. Take care, students. Now I am printing that as what? /t, and again I will write /t dot format of SNO comma SNAME comma marks comma. I'm just writing. I just wrote it. Done. Now you see, students, now I'm writing. I want to print it. Just I'm printing it with more decorative output I want to. Okay, first you print it. So I'm going to take it POS ARGS example1.py. Positional arguments example1.py. Go to the place of function, students. Coming to the command prompt, you observe it. D colon, saying here Python, say 4 p.m. Sorry, why this 4 p.m. coming all of a sudden? So 7 a.m. So in this functions here, so there you type it py, your things, positional arguments, it is printing the data. On the top of it, I want to print a number, name, like that. I want to print it for your good looking output purpose. Now I'm saying like this of 50. Now I'm saying like this next also. So there I'm going to take it, students. Inside of it, I'll take it /t SNO. I'm taking here SNO. Next I'm taking /t name. I am taking. Now /t I'm saying here what I'm writing, students. Marks I am taking. Like this I'm just taking, students. And moreover I will write here like this. Save this now. Try to execute. See that number, name, and then marks like this. Okay. I want to send one more person data. Second student data I'm passing. Student info 20 comma. I'm writing TR comma something like 34.56 I said. It is also called what? Function call. With which data? Come on, students. Specific data. This is also called with a specific data. Okay. Try to look at, carefully follow. Also specific data passing. How this is passing? Come on, understand. 10 is going to number, name, RS is going to name, and 23.45 going to what? Marks. Is it 1 to 1 or not? 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3. What is this mechanism is called? Positional arguments mechanism. And what is this data you are passing, ma? Specific. Right. After a few minutes, you will understand what is the meaning of specific importance. Well, let us go to one more thing. I will take it. One more thing I will take it. 30. You are taking something like MC. Some person name I am taking. Some 14 dot you are writing. Some more person data you are writing. 40 you are writing. And you are entering into something like a DR. And you are entering something like 64.56. You try to run it. It is going to be like this. Okay. Now you see, students, one more point I want to recommend you at this stage. Under this SNO, only SNOs are there, correct? That means also matching. Under the name, names are there. Under the marks are there. That means meaning is also matching. Order is also matching. Meaning is also matching. Order and meaning is called what? Semantics. Also matching. If you come back to my example, here I am saying, students, suppose I am passing the data like this. What I am passing, you see. Here I am passing something like, I will say something like ST. ST I am passing. Here I am writing something like, I am passing something like, some 50 I am passing. Some 50 I am passing. Some 50 I am passing. This is my data I am passing like this. And here I am writing some value called 50.55. And I am writing here is called something like a 50 I am passing. Just to think of it, students, what is happening? Here, our data is passing, no problem. No problem. You see, ST is passing to SNO. Whether Python is a dynamically typed or not. And the name is containing 50. And marks place it is going to contain what? Marks. So I will write a dot over there. Dot over there. Now it is comma here. It's correct. 50.55 is called marks I am sending to name. And then roll number I am sending to what? Marks. You just try to execute, guys. Try to see the last one. Do you have any meaning here? No. So it lost its meaning, students. It lost its meaning. We cannot maintain like that. We cannot go for something like this. It is losing its meaning. Are you able to get it? So is it possible? Is it recommended to pass like that? Positional arguments not only sending the data 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3. It is also supposed to maintain what? Meaning. Order must be maintained. So tell me, ST is pointing to what? Name. And this is supposed to point to whom? Marks. And yes, 50 is supposed to pass what? Right. How do you pass it? As it is like that. With the positional arguments, you cannot pass it. I mean, ST to where I have to pass it? Name. And 50 I have to pass to whom? SNO. 50.55 should pass to whom? This is not possible by which arguments? So I am passing the data in my own order, but the formal parameter order is different. My data passing order is different. Positional arguments cannot match with it. Is there any mechanism in Python to pass the data like this? Even though I pass my data in random order, but I want to send in the correct meaning. That is what we are going to discuss. Next technique is called keyword arguments we can call. What is ST? SName. So I will write here SName is equal to, see the technique. This is a one more way to send my data. I am not changing my order, but I will send the correct order. Next is what? Marks I will write it. Marks I am writing. Next I am writing what? SNO I am writing. These are the formal parameter used in the function call. See my results, beautiful result. See that. Is it passing correctly or not? Earlier it is wrong order. Positional arguments concept is not maintaining zigzag order. It cannot matching to it. If you want to pass the data in any order in the correct meaning, I'll go for the next technique called what? Keyword arguments technique it is called. Keyword arguments technique that I'm discussing anyhow in my class. Already there is a technique or not? So right now don't worry about it. I am trying to tell you here is, what is the meaning I am trying to tell here is, whatever the data you are sending through positional arguments, what are the points to remember? 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, n to n. But which one we cannot send it? Irregular order of data, it is not possible by what? Positional arguments. And positional arguments when you are using, it is recommended to follow what? Meaning and then order. Suppose you don't want to worry about the order. Is there any technique to pass it correctly? Yes. What is the technique? Keyword arguments technique is available. Did you understand my point? Yes. Now I am going to discuss about, this is my function call, specific data I am going to pass it. So I am going to take up, here I am going to take up positional argument concept. I want to tell you the syntax here. What is this is called? Function definition. And what are these called? Function calls. So instead of typing it, because you understand our notes style, instead of typing that entire thing here, where I can concentrate on my programming, I will take one small documentation which is already available, which I already taught to my students. That is, I will take it, positional arguments concept, I will take it here, students. Try to understand me. Functions here, I'm going to put it in the notes. So many examples we'll discuss. I will open one small documentation. What is the positional arguments, which I told you, same thing is there. I explained already now. Try to read out. The concept of positional arguments or parameters says that the number of arguments, maybe some student of C language, we call it as what? Actual arguments. Actually, actual arguments, we should not call it, because if any C language students are there, for them might be I written that time actual arguments. We should not write that word. Actually, those arguments are nothing but what? Global variables. The number of arguments of what? Function call must be equal to the number of formal parameters in function heading. That's the first rule. How many are sending here? How many are sending here? 3. What they are called? Arguments. Argument values. How many formal parameters? 3. That is a mandatory. And one more thing is, even in the first day, you understand that. How many arguments you have? How many formal parameters? What is this mechanism? Positional arguments. But we don't know first day. But we are supposed to understand that the positional arguments are not. That's why I said that it is the default mechanism, I said. Now go to the next point. This parameter mechanism also recommends order and meaning of parameters. For which purpose? Higher accuracy. Under number, number must be there. Under name, name must be there. Under marks, marks must be there. To pass the specific data from function call to function definition, then we must take what? Positional arguments mechanism. So people will ask you, why do you go for positional arguments? Straightforward to pass which data? Specific data in the form of 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, n to n. That is called number of arguments must be equal to number of formal parameters. Next, the default argument passing mechanism is positional arguments mechanism. What is the default mechanism? Positional arguments. In the day one, we don't know, but we used it. C language also we use the same. C++ also same. Syntax for function definition. DEF, function name of param 1, param 2, param n of what? Block of statements. Come on. Syntax for what? Function call. Observe that function call. arg1, arg2, arg1. arg1 passing to this, arg2 passing to this, argn passing to this. That is what I am giving the description. Here arg1, arg2, argn are passing to param 1, param 2, param n respectively. PVM gives first priority always to whom? Always remember, PVM gives the first preference for what arguments? Argument. Because the first invention is taken place. Okay? Keep in mind. Online students, did you understand this example? Did you understand this example? Did you understand this concept first of all? Right. And this example you see, this is also one more example. Easy, default one. And all our previous examples are comes under what? This is also one argument mechanism. And you take our previous example, simple interest, you take it. Simple interest, approach number 4, compound interest. Yesterday, some swap case example. Swap case example, you open it. I'm passing here KVR swap case of word. It is an argument. Passing to this function case word or not? What this mechanism is called, students? A word is passing to word. One word is passing to one word. Is it called positional arguments or not? So easy. So we understand the meaning of what? Keyword arguments. Positional arguments concept we understood. Now, I would like to continue one more example to tell you the meaning of next mechanism importance. Let me carry this and understand why I'm going for next mechanism. And this is the default, students. Nothing is difficult for you. Now you observe it. program for demonstrating positional arguments and making you to understand the next discussion, next topic. Understand, this person is learning Python. This person is learning Python. Carefully observe it. Now I would like to ask your, observation. Next person also learning what? Next person also learning Python. Next person also learning Python. Next person also learning Python. All the students which I am having is learning Python. Think about it. Here also I am writing Python. Then what is this data? Already told you. Which data? Specific data. Specific data. You try to come. How many values you are passing? 4. But how many you are having? 3. Is it matching? Will it give error or not? Yes, error is coming. Let's see. We are going to get an error. Let's see, we will get an error. So here I am passing it. Py. Positional arguments example 2. Error is coming. STUD info takes what? 3 positional arguments. It is taking 3, but you are giving how many? So it is taking only 3 things are there, but you are passing 4. That means wrong parameters you are passing. Which one? Type error. Wrong arguments you are passing. Which error always? Wrong conversions you do. Value error. Are you following? Invalid conversions if you do. Which error? Value error. Wrong arguments you are passing. Which error always? So how do you solve it? Comma. What is that? CRS you are writing. Because to hold the CRS. Here also I will write it \t. Course I will write it. Here I will write it \t. I will add a course. CRS I am writing. CRS I am writing. Save this now. Execute students. Arguments example 2. I am getting Python or not. Observe it. What is your understanding here? What is your understanding now? There is a same value passing how many times? 4 times you are passing it. 4 times you are passing it. 4 times you are passing it. Output is coming, looking happy. But as a programmer, to increase your performance, what you should do? For first function call, you are passing specific data, well and good, specific data, compulsory need to carry. And next second one also specific data, well and good, need to pass separately. MC, Python, etc. specific data need to pass separately, well and good. But all the people are learning what course? So is it not the same thing passing again and again? Is it not taking PVM too much time to transfer? Yes. That means when the first function call is coming, PVM takes how many values to carry? 4 values. 4 values are transferred here. Second time also when PVM comes again 4 values. So 4 times 4 values are passing. 4 times 4 values are passing. 16 times you are passing. And out of 16 times, 4 times is unnecessarily passing what data? Same data 4 times. Is it not waste of time? How many times you would like to pass this data? 1 time. Why 1 time? Because all the people having what course? Same course. That means what did you understand? What did you understand? Pass the specific data every time. Pass the specific data every time. Don't pass the common data every time. Is it a common data or not? Don't pass the common data every time. Then is there any technique for us to pass the common data 1 time, to pass the specific data 1 time? Did you understand first of all my requirement? What is the requirement? Pass the specific data every time. Pass the common data how many times? 1 time. For that type of requirement, we are having the concept called default arguments mechanism. Don't confuse default mechanism, default arguments mechanism. Don't get confused. Default mechanism of passing the data is positional. Default arguments mechanism is used for specifying the common data once. This is called a positional arguments. You got an output. But you need to realize that same data passed how many times? 4 times. If I am having 100 students learning Python, 100 times, why should I pass Python, Python, Python? Next 100 students learning Java, Java, Java. Why should I pass 100 times Java, Java, Java? So 100 times Python, how many times you will pass? 1 time. 100 times Java, how many times you will pass? 1 time. So Java 1 time, Python 1 time you pass it. That I will show you. That is called a default arguments mechanism. So I'll take the same example. My dear students, observe it. Now I am introducing default arguments mechanism. I am writing here. Don't pass Python every time. Now I am going to change. I am going to pass. If the value is common for many function calls of same, if the value is common for what? Same family of function. Family of similar function call. What is same? Python is same. That time I will go for what? This I am writing. Program for demonstrating what? Default arguments. You write CRS is equal to what? Python you write it. CRS is equal to Python you write it. Where I am writing? Where I am writing? Function heading. Function heading. What is the CRS is equal to? Python. Where I am writing? In the last part of it I am writing. Last edge I am writing. You cannot write in the beginning. You cannot write in the middle. You have to write in the last. Start the flow now. Start the flow. What is this data called? Passing which data? Which mechanism it is? Positional argument. By looking at the function call, you must tell what mechanism it is. Positional. 10 is going to number. Name is going to name. Marks is going to marks. And CRS, no value passing. What is the CRS value taken? Python. Now execute it. Last part only we need to use it, students. This mechanism is called which mechanism? And the first three is called which mechanism? Positional. Positional mechanism. I already told you positional arguments will be given first preference. What is the mechanism? First preference will be given for what? Positional. If I interchange the order, you will get error. I'll show you that. Let me go for default arguments example 1.py. There is no tension. First understand. Slowly you try to understand. Easy. Now you execute. See students. py. You see that is my previous example with the positional arguments. Now this is an example with the default arguments. See students. Is it the same output coming or not? By looking at it, same output is there. Same output we have. But which one is the best? Default arguments example 1 is the best. Are you going? Are you following me? Yes. Now you see. Coming to the point of it. Simple student. You are a teacher. You are a teacher. This is your home. And this is your school. This is your school. So, this teacher, there is one common between a home and a school. Daily teacher will come. Daily carry what? Tiffin box will be carried. Tiffin box. That is called what? Argument. But the duster which is present in the school, will you carry daily between school and your home? No. Duster is what argument? Default argument. Tiffin box is a same. Will you keep the same thing in this place? No. Daily you will carry different things or not. That is called what? Positional argument. And duster which you are keeping in the school remains in the same place for all the teachers is called what? Default. And don't tell that example. You need to remember this. So go for what? CRS is equal to Python is called what argument? Default argument. And SNO, SName marks are called what? Positional argument. Which one I am using first term? You try to use this CRS is equal to Python in the beginning, You try to use this in the beginning once you see. This is the rule of that, my dear students. You use it in the beginning, my dear students, and see the error now. What is that error? Non-default argument follows default argument. Non-default arguments means positional arguments. You try to run it. See the error. Come on, read out now. So, comma I need to give there. So, I will give comma there. Now see the error. Now see the error. Come on, read out, mom. Non-default argument follows default argument. Non-default argument means what? Positional. What is that is called? Syntax error. So I should not write this first. Here giving 3 cap symbols. Nothing but what? They are having error. We need to write where? First. Those things we need to write first. So if at all we are having any formal or any positional arguments, you write them first. You write them first. At the end of it, you need to write what? At the end, you need to write what? Default arguments. Did you understand first? Now the doubt is, sir, okay, this is fine. There is one more student is there. There is one student is there who want to learn. That is called 50. Who want to learn Donald Trump. Donald Trump, you want to learn Java. He want to learn. So Java, he want to learn it. Java, he want to learn it. You're writing like this, Java. What is happening? You see. What is happening? You see. Easy. This 50 passing to whom? SNO. SNO. This DT passing to this. Marks is going to this place. And Java is passing to CRS. No problem. That means for a specific function call, is passing some specific data. That time, for that function call, CRS earlier Python, it is replaced with what? Java. You try to execute, students, and see that Java printed or not. Now you may ask a question. One more person want to learn. One more person want to learn. One more kind of thing. Okay, this I will take it next, ma. This I will take it next. You understand this example once. Let us go to one more point of it. I am writing like this. You see, students, default arguments example 2. There is one more person is there. He also want to learn Java. That time I'll go for 60 here, 60 here, something like some ST is 22 point something 16, and he also want to learn Java. And this person also want to learn Java. Some more person name I will write it. Here I will write it 60, 70 I will write it. Something like UT, and I'll write it 22. Also writing Java. And some people learning Java, some people learning Python. See what is happening here. I'll separate it. I'll change my code. Watch it now. Listen carefully. Now you observe it. What is the program name? 2.py. Is it coming like this or not? Here also what is happening? Sometime here also some more heavy kind of data is transferring. Instead of that, what I am doing is, whoever is learning Python, you mention them as what? Student info 1, student info 2, 1 only, 1, student info 1, student info 1, student info 2, student info 2, student info 2. This is called student info, and you write it here. I am writing now. Student info 2, you write it. Separate function, you write it. That time I'll write what? That's all. You need to write wise kind of programming. I will write it the same thing. I'll write it the same thing here also. Here I am writing specific data. Course I am writing. Remove the Java now. Am I saving my time of transferring duplicated data or not? Tell me now. What is this mechanism is called? Think about it seriously. Now I am writing. You take care about this now. Specific data. Now you try to run it. Now you try to run it. So here I am going to write it. You try to run it. What is happening? Java students, Python students, Python students. So because of this coding, what is happening? We are able to eliminate common data transferring all the times. And where I am using this? Where I am using it? Come on, as a last parameter. Assume that all of them are living in where? India only. For example, what is that all of them are living in India? India. I don't want to pass again and again. India is a common for all of them or not? What should I write it now? CNT is equal to what? India. Where I am writing that? Again in the last. That means last compartment is meant for what? Default arguments. And keyword arguments also having one rule. Variable length also having one rule. Keyword variable length also having one rule. And you may have a doubt, sir, two mechanisms are always want lost. That time, what is your suggestion? We are going to give the final syntax of the function with all the rules and regulations. Okay, now one by one we'll discuss. CNT I am writing. CNT I am writing it. Here also I am writing here what you know. CNT is equal to what I am writing? India. India. Are you able to follow this? So I'm going to write it. Here also I will write it. \T. I'm writing like this. Here I am writing CNT. Here I am writing CNT. Here I am writing \T. I'm writing here country. Here I am writing country. I'll bring it here country. So observe it carefully. Here also CNT. Need to write what a CNT here. So take care about that. I need to write one more kind of thing. Are you following me? So try to line number. Okay. Yes. So I will write it here. So see that you try to run it here. Try to run it here. Getting something like this. And Donald Trump is the person he want to live, who is living in USA, for example. You pass it. It is going to be there for that person USA. Which is comes under what? Course. Not coming under where? How to pass it. How to pass it. You can just, I gave a small idea for you. What is this is going? 50 is going to where? 50 is going to this place and S name is going to contain this. 11 point this is going there and is going to CRS in the order. It is not going to where? CNT. And it is so simple for a left hand left finger. I can write CNT is equal to. CNT is equal to. You run it, CNT USA going. And no student knows about this technique. Only because when I introduce, then only will come to know. Otherwise, what you know about what is there in my mind. And you can't understand what is the deepness of the subject. Because when faculty is having good commitment, then only you come to know. Otherwise, functions yesterday only will be over. Correct or not? Yes. That's why you try to learn deep of the subject. And I hope you are following CNT is equal to. At present, don't worry about that keyword arguments concept. Let it be. I will keep it as this. First of all, are you understanding this? Tell me, when do you go for default argument, students? When there is a common value for multiple function calls of same family. Student info, 1. Same family, what is the same value? Python India. If I pass unnecessarily Python India many times, is it not waste of time? Here also Python India is a waste of time. That time what should I do? Whatever the common data is there, don't send again and again. You please keep them as what? Come on, default arguments once, so that they can be used for all the function calls only one time, so that you are reducing the transferring time of the data. Understand this point? Right. One small example, again, one more example I want to say. Look at students, I'll go for one more example. I want to calculate demonstrating default arguments, example 2, DEF, circle area, for example, circle area I am writing, students. What I am passing? Radius I am passing. I am just writing something like a column. One more I am writing here called what? Circle perimeter. I am writing circle perimeter. R I am passing. So circle perimeter different R I am passing and area I am passing different R. Now I want to go for calculating one common value required for area of circle and area of perimeter of circle or not. What is that common value? Pi value is a common. What you will do? Will you pass again and again? No, I will take it as what? Comma. Pi is equal to what I will write? 3.14. What is the 3.14 is called? Common value for these two functions. So I am writing something like this. So there I will write my logic, students. What is this? Pi is equal to 3.14 is called? Okay, common value over what is that name? Default argument we can call. So AC is equal to what? Pi into R star star 2. Print of what? Area of circle. Area of circle is equal to dot format of what? AC. I am writing. Similarly, I will go for what? Perimeter of circle is equal to what? 2 into pi into r. 2 pi r. Print of what? Perimeter of what? Circle is equal to, I am writing dot format of what? BC. I am writing. So what is the default value here? This one. R is not a fixed value, right or not? R differs from one point to another point. So I am going to write it. Main program I am writing. Directly I am writing. Come on, call the function name as what? Circle area. Directly I will call it. So since you understand already, float of, input of, enter, radius for calculating area of circle. I am directly writing. Will you understand this? Fine. So understand this. Similarly, I'll write one more thing. I say enter radius. This is called what here, you know, students? Perimeter, students. Perimeter. I am writing enter radius for calculating perimeter of circle. Perimeter of circle. So perimeter of circle. So coming to the point of it, you save this code. Coming to the point back. Default arguments example 3.py. Go for it. Py, go to the place. Okay, 3.py. So enter the radius for calculating area of circle. Say 3 and area of circle is equal to 28.26. Enter the radius for what? Come on. Radius for perimeter 3.4. Right? Perimeter of circle 21.352. Are you able to follow? Minnu Kumari, please come out of your English. Coding is important here. Radius, if you can take care. Spellings you can take care. Don't waste your time. You are just concentrating on English spellings. Come out of it. Even I can write radius. Something like this also I can write it. Even if I write blunder inside the double quotes, nothing will happen. Because you have to come out of that days. Please come out. Right. See that. Nothing will happen. See that. Nothing will happen. Come out. Programming is important. Spellings also important. And I never bother about the spellings at present because I'm typing and teaching. So take care about that. And don't feel because of my words. And take care about that. Right. So 3 and then 5.6. Answer is like that. Are you able to follow? Right. So this is called what argument here? Default arguments we can call. Did you understand? Fine. Next I want to introduce. What is this concept is called? Default argument. What is the rule of default arguments? Default arguments to be used always as a last parameter. You cannot use in the middle. You cannot use in the first. Always to be used as last. We cannot use it in the middle. Not used in the first. Is it required to use only one default argument or any number? Any number of default arguments we can use it. See, I am using 3. I am using any number, but what their order ma? Last. And which one is the first to be written? Positionals. Last you need to write like this. Are you understanding why they are called first in order? Are you understanding common data, specific data now? Specific data to be passed through positional arguments. Common data to be specified through. That's all. Shall I move forward? Good. Now I will go to default arguments. I'll show you one small example. So whatever I explained, I'll show you the writing part. So again, writing is my time waste now, because you understand our notes still, understand it, because I can concentrate more on the coding level. Whatever the concept is there, whether 4 p.m. students or 2 p.m. students or whatever it is, concept is same. So I will go for what, students, default arguments concept, I will take it. So coming to the point back, now I will keep it, that function, I will utilize that small additional facility here. So I'll use it, and here I'm going to take up. And here I'm saying something like this. When there is a common value, default arguments I'm going for. When there is a common value for what? Family of similar function calls, then such a type of common values must be taken as default parameter with a common value, but not recommended to pass by using. What will happen if I pass by using positional arguments, ma? I already shown you Python. Is PVM is carrying every time Python is unnecessarily or not? That's why I will go for which mechanism? Specify how many times? Keep the duster in the school only. Don't carry by keeping in the back to and fro between your home and school. Don't carry daily. It's a heavy weight now. So keep the common value in where itself? School only. Here, I'm keeping my common value in the function heading only. I'm not carrying every time. Is it going to be one advantage or not? Suppose if I analyze my data, some students are Java, some students are Python. I'm writing a family of one function for what? Python. One more family I'm writing for what? Java. If I observe my data, incoming data by observing, I decided to take. So it is called wise programming to decide when to write for family of Python students, family of Java students. All of them are living in where? India. So it is a value common for all the functions or not? Yes. So, are you following? Not following, only seeing on the screen, thinking somewhere. Correct? Correct? Following? Good, nice. So, coming to the point, because sometimes I'm seeing, thinking about outside. Something is there in your brain. Correct? Thinking outside. Correct? Yes, where? London? Huh? Ukraine? How to stop the war like that? Not like that now? Please concentrate. So, now I'm going to one more discussion now. Keyword arguments I want to introduce. Are you following me? When do you go for positional arguments? To pass the specific data from function call to function definition. When do you go for default arguments? When there is a common value for similar function calls, take the common value as a default argument in the function heading itself. So when to use what mechanisms are important? Okay. Students in the online, up to here, are you okay, students? Up to here, are you okay? If you confirm it, then next technique I will introduce. Next technique I am going to introduce. See, students, I am expecting my output like this, students. A value, B value, C value, D value like this. A value always supposed to take as what you know. A value supposed to take always what you know. 10. A value supposed to take always as what? 10. This is 10. This is called 20. B value always 20. C value is always 30. D value is always what? 40. Always 40. This is my standard. For displaying this data, what I am doing? Display values. What is the data I am passing? 10, 20, 30, 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. What will happen? 10 will go to A, 20 will go to B, 30 will go to where? C, and 40 will go to D. What is this mechanism? Positional arguments. Okay. But somebody is passing the data like this. What is that? Display values of 30, 10, 20, and next 40. Or something like what you know, 40. 40. Next is 10. Next is called what? 20. Where is that 30 going? A. Where is 40 going? Where is 10 going? 30 going to where? D. Is it my output is becoming different or not? This is going to become what? 30. This is going to become what? 40. It is becoming what? 10. It is becoming what? Is it not going to be different meaning or not? That means Java students are going to Python class, Python students are going to Java class. And Python students are going to Oracle class also. They are going in a different classrooms they are entering. So what is my concept here? Irrespective of the order you are passing, values must go in a proper order. Whether I will come from north side or east side or any side, I should go to my classroom perfectly. Are you following? So small example I will give you students, you try to follow. A small example I will try to give, you try to follow. Program for demonstrating what? Keyword arguments. Keyword arguments, most important technique. All techniques are important. DEF, display values. A comma, B comma, C comma, D. A comma, B comma, C comma, D. I am writing backslash T, and then backslash T. Dot format of what, guys? A comma, B comma, C comma, D. A comma, B comma, C comma, D. Tell me what is this ABCDR called actually? Come on. Okay, parameters over. Monna ayipendadi. Formal parameters also over. Today you need to tell positional. Try to increase in still LKG only you are in. What is ABCDR called? Nothing but what? Formal parameters. Hai na? So day by day you increase your vocabulary, student. Come on to the main program. Main program you come. I am going to take main program, one small diagram I want to take it. One small point I would like to take it. What is I am taking now here like this. Come to this place. I am expecting this is called A, my dear students, A. And this is called B. And this is called C, I am expecting. This is called D, I am expecting. Okay. What is the data I am passing? Display values of what? 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. This is well and good. What is this mechanism? You need to tell positional arguments. Okay. Keep it. Keyword ARGS example1.py. Positional arguments. See, once you are listening the class, you must tell that what mechanism you are following. So there I will go for executing this. PY, positional keyword arguments. So right now, okay. Understand? Fine. What I understand here, if I go to the NumPy, Pandas and etc. in further, I know this is the function you defined, correct? And you are the user of the same function. You defined by yourself. You are using by yourself. You only developed it. You only reusing. That is okay. Positional arguments okay. But in further classes, I am developing. You are using. Where are you using? Not coming and using in my system. You are sitting in your system and you are passing the data to my function. Right or not? You are sitting in your system and you are passing the data to my function. You are reusing my function across the missions. That time, you know my function name. You know my function name. You know my parameter names. You don't know the order. You know my function name. You know the parameter names. You don't know the order. But I want to pass the data correctly. Did you understand the theme of it? You know function name. You know parameter names. But you don't know order. Sleeping. No, not you. No, don't sleep more. Right. Come to the point back. So, I know the function name. I know the parameter names, but we don't know order. Order of the parameters don't know. So, if I pass it, display, what is this? Values of something like 40, something like 20, something like 10, something like 30 I am passing. See that? One of the programmer is thinking like that. Is passing the data. And what is happening? You are getting wrong in order. You are getting wrong in order. Is it wrong in order or not? All you people want to use my function. You know my function name. You know my parameter names. But you don't know. Is it taking ABCD na? ACBD na? D, A, C, B, na, you don't know. 4 variables are there. How many combinations I can use it? Multiple combinations I can use it. Is it wrong data posting or not? So what is the theme now? I know the function name. I know the parameter names. I don't know the order of parameters. How to pass the data. Positional arguments not possible. Positional arguments gives wrong result or not? It is not possible to go for default arguments because default argument says common values. Right or not? So how do you do that? How do you do that? Go to my function and say, I know I want to pass 40 to whom? D. I will write D is equal to. Where is the D? D is the formal parameter name which I am using in my function call. It is looking like a key as well as value. That's why they named it as what? Keyword argument, because I am using inside the function call. Comma. What is the next? B is equal to. Next what? A is equal to. C is equal to. Did you understand? See the data now. See the data. Is the data passing perfectly or not? Yes. What is this mechanism? What the first one is called? Which arguments this is? Function call with what arguments? POS, ARGS. Okay. Function call with what next? Functional, with what arguments? Yes, keyword arguments. Next, come on, exercise. Display values. Tell me students, C is equal to 30, D is equal to 40, B is equal to what? 20, comma, A is equal to 10. What is this concept, ma? Function call with keyword arguments. You see students? Perfect. Following? Okay. Next I am writing. One more I am taking here like this. I am writing B is equal to what? I remove this. Come on, B is equal to 20, D is equal to 40, A is equal to 10, C is equal to 30. Are you following this? Different order. Also, posting same. How it is posting same once you can understand? D to this, and come on, B to B, and next is what? A to A, and next is what? C to C. Understand? Last and final here, B to B, PVM will carry like a D to D, and A to A, C to C. When postman is receiving the letters from different corners of the state, he will distribute the letters in the same order. In any order it will come. In any order, he will arrange by himself. When I am going to certain area, what are that areas? He is having idea about it. The letters are coming in any order. Those order elements I will be sending properly. It is nothing but which mechanism? Keyword arguments mechanism. Easy or difficult? Yes. What is the first line number 12? Which mechanism? Next 3 are called what? Okay. Take care. Display values. See next mechanism. See that. 10, 20. What is 10, 20? Positional arguments. Come on, fast. Tushara, come to ma. Listen the class. Don't excite. Okay? Don't excite. Listen my class. I am discussing that only. 10, 20. What is 10, 20? Because my teaching will give you a lot of new intelligence thoughts. If you listen continuously, you will get the points. 10, 20. What is 10, 20? Now, I will say next what? D is equal to 40. C is equal to 30. What is this? Function call with keyword arguments. Function call with positional arguments and what are the first 2? What are the next 2? How it works? Start. How it works? 10 will go to 10 and 20 are position because no keyword variable is equal to. 10 will go to where? A. 20 will go to where? D will go to D. C will come to C. Is it crossing or not? Other person knows. First 2 things I know AB. Next to dilemma is there. Either CD na, DC na is having a dilemma. That's why he is using first two things I am confident and the next two things I am not confident. Let it be. I am thinking D value. Next I am thinking C value. Execute it, my dear students, and see this carefully. I am getting the correct answer or not? Yes. Suppose if I don't write this now, what is happening? It is missing. It is missing. It is missing the order. It is missing or not? That's why to avoid that problem of it, I must go for what? Something like, okay, I will write what here, students? D is equal to C is equal to. Will you understand? Next, last and final I am saying display values 10 comma D is equal to 40, B is equal to 20 and C is equal to 30. What is this concept, ma? Come on. First one is called what? Next one is what? I know first one is A. Later I am having a dilemma. BCD na, DCB na, CBD na, and that's why dilemma. I will pass it data properly in that mechanism. Am I passing data correctly or not? Yes. Next I am going to introduce one more. You tell me display values saying here D is equal to 40, D is equal to 40 and next what you know C is equal to 30 comma 1020 I am entering. 1020 I am entering. Come on, what is this? Come on, start. D will go to where? D. And C will go to where? C. And the next 10 will go to where? A. And 20 will go to where? B. Are you thinking or you are saying sir will say like that? It is called a wrong answer. It is called a wrong answer. You are thinking like that. Because student will always think in something different. So, it is a wrong syntax. Keyword wrong syntax that is. That means, first we need to pass always what? But here first I am passing what? Do you know how it is working? D will go to D. Okay. C will go to C. C will go to C. And this 10 is available as what? Third. Third means it will go to C only. It will go to C only. And D, 20 will go to D only. Already C and D got the values or not? Is one value can hold two values at a time? No, you will get error. See the error? See the error? This type of examples you need to get it, students. See that positional arguments follows. That means you are saying something keyword first and lastly is like this. It is called error or not? So first one you write always what? Later you will write. So it is called error or not? Yes, I will mention error. Error I will write it. So syntax error I will copy. This is the rule you have to remember. Are you okay, students? Yes. Now, this is comes under what mechanism? Keyword arguments mechanism. Shall I show you keyword arguments mechanism? Yes. Try to observe the keyword arguments mechanism. One small concept I will show you. So that concept I will show you. Then I will move forward. Keyword arguments. Functions. Here I will say keyword parameters and arguments. I will keep it here. And functions here. And observe it. Under the notes, I'll pass it. Just observe it. What is the concept I said? Read out. Carefully read out. Come on. In some circumstances, we know the function name and formal parameter names. And we don't know order of the formal parameter names. And to pass the values or data accurately, we must use the concept of keyword parameters or arguments. The implementation of keyword parameters and arguments says that all the formal parameter names are used as arguments in the function calls as keys. Did you observe that? You see all the formal parameter names used as keys in where? Function calls. Are you understanding? If I use a different name now, If I use B1, if I use it, do you have B1 here to map it? No, you will get error. You will get error. You execute it and see the error. You got error. What is that error? Display values got unexpected keyword argument called what? B1. Do you have B1 there? No, error. So that's why every argument must contain what? Every argument name, keyword argument name must be the formal parameter. That is the point to be rememberable. What is the syntax? D, function name, param1, param2, param n, and we are writing this. And one important point, students, function name, param n is equal to value n, param1 is equal to value n, param n minus 1 is equal to value n minus 1. How they are going to move it? Param n and param 1, param n minus 1, etc. It is matching perfectly or not? Yes. Here param n and all those things are called keyword arguments. There is a rule. When we specify the keyword arguments before positional arguments in function calls, then we get a syntax error. Positional arguments follows what you have seen. Same thing is there in the documentation part. Now, so time is 8:45. I will Tushara. Now is your doubt is clarified, ma? Tushara. Is your doubt is clarified? Yes. If you listen carefully now, everything I will explain, ma. Don't worry about it. So, coming to the point back, now I am going to say this. Praveen Kumar, right. Thank you, my dear student. Whatever the deeper subject you teach, we can happily listen. Even you teach this course for 6 months also, we listen. Such an interesting way you are teaching. Praveen Kumar, thank you. But I don't teach 6 months. 6 months if I teach, what will happen? It will become, of course, you will listen. But I said 3 months. 3 months, 10 days extra I will take. See, I can teach Python for 3 years. Then 3 సంవత్సరాలు చెప్తా Python. I will teach Python for 3 years. Yes. Java I will teach for 5 years. Because I'm research and development I went to. Because 25 years I taught Java. 5 years I will explain Java. Only core Java, that too. Advanced Java I will explain 5 more years. So, yes, my dear student. Doubt is there? Yes, please. Positional argument and next class will come across. Next class, which I told you already. Next class, that is about to enter into that. I want to give you an example of what? Positional and keyword you have seen. What is the next one? Default also I will explain. No problem. If you want, now only I will go for it. Easy, student. It's a very good doubt. Definitely I will explain in my class. I will take it, comma. What I am saying? Something like sub is equal to sub. Sub is equal to what? Python. Sub is equal to Python. Where I am writing? Last. You say here, you say here, I am saying /t, sub I am writing. Sub I am writing. Here I will write it /t. What I am writing, ma? Sub I will write it. Definitely I will explain that. Need not to worry about it. Sub I will write it. And I did not pass sub at all. You execute it. You see, students. Done. You go for it. Next you go for it. What is that? Go to program. I will write it. Tell me. Display values of sub is equal to Java. D is equal to 40. A is equal to 10. C is equal to 30. B is equal to 20. What is this? Function call with keyword arguments, default argument. Okay. You execute it. You see Java. Let me go to one more thing. Display values. I am writing 10 comma C is equal to 30. Sub is equal to R language, comma D is equal to what is that? 40. B is equal to 20. Okay, tell me now, what is this? First one, positional. Going to where? A. Next C go to where? C. Next sub go to where? Sub. D go to where? D. Next B go to where? B. What is this is called? Functional argument with what? Positional arguments. Come on, ma. Positional arguments, keyword arguments, and what? Default arguments. Okay, no issue. Go to that R. Okay. If I completed yesterday only functions are over, what will happen? You will lose this subject. That's why you save your friends. Python is not that Python. Python is here. You learn it. Are you saying that? So, are you understanding, ma? In further also, many times you will come across this. Okay, understand? Right. So, this is the way you need to pass it. Like this, you need to pass it. Minnu Kumari. So, here I am saying what? Which arguments you are passing here? Function call with what? Positional arguments on and function call with positional is not there here. Only with default and keyword and default. I am passing everything. Default value I am passing plus keyword arguments I am passing. Are you following me? Yes. So what is the rule? Come on, come on. A, B, C, D are called what? Positional. What is this is called? What is this? B is equal to D is equal to? What is this? Sub is equal to? D is equal to? A is equal to? Keyword default. Here what is the 10? Positional. What is these things are called? What is this is called? Right. Everything mixing or not? Yes. So this is the subject of it. This is the subject of it. In further also you will come across. Why I teach this much of deep? Because further I am telling big topics. That's why I decided to teach in the everything so bigger. Right, students. So I'll stop the class. And next class, that is Monday class, when I come back, I'll talk about continuation of these